Hey, what's going on, guys? YugiRyan here, and today I'm going to be profiling my Fire King deck for you guys. So, this deck has plenty of potential. It's very good. It focuses mainly on destroying itself and then special summons and whatnot. So, let's get right into it. First of all, we have the boss monster, Fire King High Avatar Garunix. This card has two special effects. Um, Whenever it's destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it during the next standby phase. And if it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon one other Fire King monster from your deck. So, two very good effects. It's also a very good attacking boss monster, has 2700 attack. So, one of the better cards in this deck. Next, we have Fire King Avatar Garunix. This card is also probably one of the best cards in this deck. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's basically what all Fire King monsters have as a first effect. But then their second effect is very interesting. When you can special summon this, well, I already read that. If this card is in your possession, is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King Avatar monster from your deck. So, some people think that you can also special summon Fire King High Avatar Garunix. That's false because you have Fire King High Avatar, so High is interrupting the name. Unlike Noble Knights, as an example, Ignoble Knights are also eligible because it wasn't interrupting. But since Fire King Avatar is specifically written inside the text box for his effect, as you guys can see here, Fire King Avatar. Since High interrupts right into the middle, you can't special summon him, but you are able to special summon any other monsters, which I will get into next. We have Fire King Avatar Barong. This guy is a awesome 1800 4-star beater. His effect is pretty good. So as I said before, you can special summon him from your hand, blah blah blah. And then during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one Fire King card from your deck to your hand, except Fire King Avatar Barong. So, very good effect. I only run two though, and I'll get to that later. So next we have Fire King Avatar Kirin. I only run two of this one because his attack isn't that high, so is the defense. But his effect is pretty good. You can special summon this card from your hand, blah blah blah. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can send one fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. So what you're going to do with this effect is that you're going to want to send your High Avatar and then activate his effect, which is going to allow you to special summon him onto the field. So very nice combo right there. Avatar Kirin, only 2 copies though because it does clutter the hand. I find it's a good hand to start off with, but if you draw it later on in the game, it kind of is worthless unless you don't have your boss monster out yet, which is surprising if you don't. Anyway, next we have Fire King Avatar Yaksha, or Yaksha. Special summon from your hand. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy one card in your hand or that you control. So once again, this is going to activate, and you're going to want to use it to special summon High Avatar Garunix once again. So a very awesome effect to get your boss monsters out. And then we have cards that will make the deck a little bit more competitive. We have Fire Hand and Ice Hand. Ice Hand I like because it'll destroy back row, which is deadly to this deck, and Fire Hand will destroy an opponent's monster, and then they just recycle off of each other, so very nice. Now for the spells, we have 2 copies of Circle of the Fire Kings. I only run 2 instead of 3, as most people would, because I find sometimes it does clutter the deck if you don't have a monster out on the field yet. But its effect is very good. You can target one fire monster you control and one fire monster in your graveyard. You can destroy the first monster, and if you do, special summon the second monster from your graveyard. So, very nice effect. Let's say you use Yaksha and then get a monster to the graveyard, then you can special summon it with Circle of the Fire King. So, very nice card. 2 copies is enough though. Next we have Dark Hole because monsters do need to get to the graveyard. I find Raigeki wouldn't be a very good match with this deck, because in this specific deck you'd need to discard your own cards. So, or not discard them, but use their effects in the graveyard. So, Dark Hole. And then we have Fire Formation Tenki. This is just for your search, and so you can just search out your monsters, and also you get a nice little 100 attack boost. And then we have one copy of Forbidden Lance. I didn't want to run 2 or 3 because I found that more often or so I'll use Ice Hands effect or MST, which I run 2 copies of, to get rid of back row. But Forbidden Lance is a nice way of getting your attacks off without having to get affected by a back row card. And then, as I said, 2 copies of MST, just clear that back row. And probably another very good opening hand card would be Onslaught of the Fire Kings. I run 3 copies of this. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon 1 Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast type monster from your deck. So basically any card in this deck except Ice Hand. Its effects are negated and is destroyed during the end phase. So what I really like about this card is that it says its effects are negated and it is destroyed during the end phase. So basically, what you're going to want to do is bring out Fire King High Avatar. Its effects are negated while the card is active, and then once it's destroyed, it's sent to the graveyard, but in the graveyard, its effects are live again. So during the next standby phase, you can special summon him back onto the field. So very nice combo right there to get High Avatar Garunix out. Then one of the most broken cards in this deck, Supply Squad. Since this deck is mainly about discarding and getting monsters to the graveyard to activate their effects, this card, it says, once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, draw 1 card. So this is going to give you insane draw power. I've played a couple of duels, and this just saved my hand. My opponent would destroy one of my monsters, and boom, I got another card in my hand. And if you have 2 or 3, these cards do stack, so once per turn, meaning this card only, not individual copies on the field. So, very nice card. So, if you have 3 on the field, you can draw 3 cards. So, amazing draw power. And then we have 1 Bottomless, just because it's bottomless. 3 Deep Prison, just so you can cancel out your opponent's attacks. 2 Fiendish Chain, so you can negate your opponent's monster's effects, and you can also prevent them from attacking. 1 Solemn and 1 Torrential.